My name is Sarah, and I thought I had a perfect life. I was married to Tom for 7 years, and we had a comfortable home, a lovely garden, and dreams of starting a family. Every evening we would sit on the porch, sipping tea and talking about our day. Tom was my best friend, the person I trusted the most. But one day, everything changed. It was a sunny Wednesday morning when I noticed something unusual. Tom was acting distant. He left for work earlier than usual and came home late, saying he was busy with a project. At first, I didn't think much of it. I was busy with my own work and preparing for a presentation at my job. But as the days went by, the unease in my heart grew. One evening, I decided to surprise Tom by cooking his favorite dinner. I spent hours in the kitchen, preparing everything perfectly. The smell of roasted chicken filled the house, and I set the table with candles and flowers. But when he walked in, I could see that something was off. He barely looked at me and rushed to his phone, scrolling through messages. "Hey, you're home," I said, trying to sound cheerful. "I made your favorite dinner." "Thanks, Sarah. I'm really tired," he replied, not meeting my gaze. He sat down, but his mind seemed elsewhere. I felt a knot tightening in my stomach. As we ate, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I tried to engage him in conversation, but he answered with short replies. Finally, I gathered the courage to ask, "Is everything okay, Tom? You seem distant." He looked up, surprised. "I'm fine, just a lot on my mind." But the way he said it didn't convince me. After dinner, I washed the dishes while he went to the living room. I glanced at him and saw that he was texting furiously. My heart raced as I felt a wave of anxiety wash over me. I wanted to ask him who he was texting, but I was afraid of what I might hear. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. I felt a mix of worry and fear. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. My heart raced as I thought about the possibility of Tom not being truthful with me. The next day, I decided to do something I never thought I would do. I wanted to see if I could find any clues about what was going on. I knew it was wrong to invade his privacy, but the fear was consuming me. I went to his desk where he often kept his phone. I hesitated for a moment, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened his laptop, and my heart sank as I saw a folder labeled Photos. I clicked on it, and there, at the top, was a picture of Tom with a woman I didn't recognize. They were smiling, looking happy together, as if they were on a trip. I felt sick to my stomach. I clicked through more photos, and it became clear Tom had been spending time with this woman. I couldn't breathe. My mind raced as I tried to process what I was seeing. I felt betrayed, angry, and heartbroken all at once. How could he do this to me? I thought we had a strong marriage. I wanted to scream, to cry, but I felt paralyzed. That evening, when Tom came home, I was a bundle of nerves. I wanted to confront him, but I didn't know how. Instead, I tried to act normal, pretending nothing was wrong. But inside, I was a storm of emotions. "Hi, how was your day?" I asked, forcing a smile. "It was fine," he replied, barely looking at me. "I'm really tired. Can we just eat and go to bed?" I nodded, but my heart was heavy. After dinner, I couldn't hold it in any longer. "Tom, we need to talk," I said, my voice shaking. He looked surprised. "About what?" "About us. About your recent behavior." I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. "I saw some pictures on your laptop." His face went pale. "What pictures?" "The ones with the woman." "Who is she, Tom?" I felt tears welling up in my eyes. He shifted uncomfortably. "It's not what you think, Sarah." "Then what is it? Because it looks like you're having an affair," I shouted, my heart racing. He sighed, running his fingers through his hair. "Okay, fine. Her name is Lisa. We've been seeing each other for a few months." Each word felt like a punch to my gut. I staggered back, feeling the world spin around me. "How could you do this to me?" I whispered, tears streaming down my face. "I thought we were happy." "We were," he said, but his voice was cold. But I felt trapped. I didn't know how to tell you. "Trapped?" I echoed, feeling anger boil inside me. "You could have talked to me. Instead, you chose to lie and cheat." "I didn't know how to handle it," he replied, sounding defensive. "I didn't want to hurt you." "Too late for that," I said, my voice breaking. "You've already hurt me deeply." Tom stood up, looking frustrated. "I can't keep doing this. I need to be free to make my own choices." "Free?" I felt a mix of disbelief and sadness. "You want to leave me, just like that?" "I have to," he said, his tone hardening. "I can't pretend anymore." I felt shattered. In that moment, I realized he had made his choice. I had fought so hard for our marriage, but it didn't matter to him. "So, this is it?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Yes," he replied, turning away. "I'm sorry, but I can't stay." With that, he walked out of the room, leaving me alone in the silence. I felt as if my world had collapsed. I sank to the floor, crying uncontrollably. In the days that followed, I felt like a ghost in my own home. I wandered through the empty rooms, overwhelmed by the memories of what we once had. I was heartbroken and angry, but more than anything, I felt betrayed. As the sun set each evening, I sat alone in the living room, the silence echoing around me. The house that once felt warm and inviting now felt cold and empty. I longed for Tom's laughter, for the comfort of his presence, but it was gone. I tried to fill the void by reaching out to friends, but deep down, I felt a profound loneliness. Each conversation felt shallow as I struggled to explain my pain. I felt like I was wearing a mask, pretending to be okay, while my heart was breaking. One night, I lay in bed, clutching the pillow he used to sleep on. The scent of him still lingered, and I found it both comforting and heartbreaking. I closed my eyes, wishing I could turn back time, wishing I could erase the betrayal and have the life I once thought I had. But as the tears flowed, I realized that I was alone in this. I didn't know how to move forward without him. My dreams felt shattered, and the future seemed uncertain and dark. In that moment of despair, I understood that the loneliness was going to be a part of my life for a while. I didn't know how to heal or when the pain would fade. All I knew was that I was left with memories of a love that had turned into a haunting reminder of what could have been. As I lay there, staring at the ceiling, I felt an overwhelming sense of emptiness. I had lost not just my husband, but the life I had envisioned for myself. And in that silence, I realized that the road ahead was going to be long and lonely. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, like, and share.